All right, and those anthems done and dusted, we are ready for kickoff of this great matchup in the Americas Rugby Championship. Good game coming ahead. As you see, Canada is going to be wearing red and Uruguay in the light blue. The referee for this match is Federico Anselmi of Argentina. His assistant referees, Francisco Gonzalez and Santiago Romero, both of Uruguay. And the TMO for today, Alejandro Longres from Uruguay. Uruguay is coached by Esteban Meneses, been their coach since 2015, and Canada by Kingsley Jones, been head coach since 2017. Good aerial shot of this stadium. That's something else right there.
Yeah, it's quite impressive.
Pretty artistic way to start this game as we're getting ready to go. And Canada set to kick off here. Referee Anselmi ready to get us underway. Canada will be coming left to right on your screen. And we are underway. Kieran Hearn gets us started. Ball inside the Uruguayan 22 and immediately kicked away. Be an early line out here for Canada, just about 40 meters out from the line. We'll see what they decide to do with this first line-out ball. A lot of power in that Canadian set of forwards, Phaedra. They could try to drive this, try to move it wide. We'll see how they want to play this Uruguayan team.
They like the contact, and the big boys.
Ball stolen away there by Uruguay. Good start on that line-out. And it's Santiago Arata who's going to want to keep the ball moving quickly today. Send the ball out to a waiting forward, and he's taking the contact. Off the left boot goes Arata, playing for the Houston SaberCats in Major League Rugby in America. Puts it down deep. Here is Canada on the return. Canada just outside there is Theo Souter. That ball is moved on by McKenzie into a waiting set of forwards there. Sears Duru over it. Looks like McKenzie's going to go for the box kick, and he is a Oakville, Ontario native, playing for the Toronto Arrows in that Major League Rugby in North America. Uruguay comes down with it. Ball gets fed away by Matteo Sanguinetti, the loose head prop. Now Arata. Another box kick here, a little territory to begin this game for both of these sides. As the ball hangs up, but Theo Souter calls for the mark, and he's going to be able to kick this one away. Another one of the Toronto Arrows players for this Canadian team. Souter gets it just out near midfield, and we'll have a Uruguay line out this time.
Yeah, both of these squads showcasing some serious professional talent. It speaks to the level of play that we're seeing so far. Uruguay, the expectation for is that they win all of their home games, and so you can bet that everybody's watching, and no one's going to sleep on this Uruguay team. They have improved over and over again each year.
Referee Anselmi whistles that one up. I think he just wants to get things sorted out. He's warning the Canadians that they're starting to creep in over that line. As Herman Kessler gets a ball into the front of the line out. Away they go through Arata's pass. Little errant though, and scooped up quickly there. Out in the midfield by Ben Lesage. This ball gets moved on quickly to Connor Keys. Rotherham Titan player. But turned over here, and Uruguay's away with it through Arata. And they're looking to go wide with this ball, but we'll see what happens as they have to take it up through the midfield. Through Joaquin Prada. Back this time to Juan Manuel Cott, fly half from the Old Boys Club. Theo Souter, the ball and returns a kick himself, looking to play some of that territory game. Nice little kick, rolls out inside the 22, and Uruguay decides to go quickly here. See if that was a good decision by Rodrigo Silva. It is, he's able to make a little more room. Canadian players thinking that Andres Villaseca was offsides, but he's okay, and we're going to have a line out here for Canada. Yeah, a lot of territory early on here.
Yeah, and very wisely played. I mean, I think they have clearly put themselves in a better position, Uruguay. And I'm seeing already that they're going to be tenacious in those rucks and turn over that ball. Very quick, very explosive and dynamic there.
Canada safely takes this one down. Mauling it forward there, and McKenzie breaks off. Onto an incoming winger there, and Coe. Back to their forward sets here they go. Ball moved quickly, and that was Parfrey. Parfrey to Souter. Souter finds a little bit of room. McKenzie bobbles that one. Advantage there to Uruguay, and we're going to have the first scrum of the day here after just a little mistake there from McKenzie. Tough trying to come out of the back of that ruck.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to rush it, trying to push the tempo of the game, trying to get ball moving fast. But sometimes you got to slow it down and do one thing at a time. That's pick the ball up, step over, pick up the ball up, and then run. It's just that simple.
Speed could be the name of the game for Canada here, as they're really looking to move the ball quickly and working on their pattern as they set their sights on the 2019 World Cup. Should be an interesting first scrum, Phaedra. This will tell us a lot about how this game's going to go.
I am just waiting to see, John. If we're basing what this scrum's going to be like on the last line out, it's going to be pretty evenly matched.
You will see. Referee on Selmy sets him back up. And a little late to come down there. And again, we have a free kick here to Uruguay.
Canada having real problems in the front row. Honestly, getting low enough to offer a fair contest to Uruguay.
They're all very good players in the front row for Canada. They're going to have to sort that out quickly, and I'm sure that they will. As the high ball goes up, bounces back and forth, winds up in Rumball's hands, the captain. Moved out there to Matt Tierney, currently playing his rugby in France. Kenzie digs it out. Stack of forwards usually indicates a box kick, and so it is. Ball inside the 40-meter line there. Possibly taken straight out. We'll see what the referee or the assistant referee decide. She's going to say that the Uruguayan player took it out.
I thought he was out of bounds when he caught it.
Yeah. Be a line out here for Canada. Good little movement for them as they get a great attacking position here. Another look at it.
Yeah, take a second look and see. And he was in the air. He was definitely out.
Come down with this one, do Canada, and looking to drive this on. Sears Duru had the ball at the back for a second. That works it back a little more. Referee telling them that's slowed down once, so they're neither going to do something with it, keep moving forward. Eventually the ball goes to the ground. We have a penalty here. Oh, sorry, we have a knock-on in there. Excuse me.
And that's incredible pressure from Uruguay. They're really pressuring the breakdown and the contact piece.
Great work there. Unfortunate knock-on for Canada, but it's going to be a Uruguayan scrum here. Just 30, 35 meters out. Interesting to see a completed scrum here and see how it works. The last one, bit of a mess and a free kick. We'll see where they go from here. And how Sears Duru, Howard, and Tierney, the front row for Canada, will work this one.
Too early. I will check the next one.
Referee promising everyone he's going to take a look at what they say is going wrong. Sure nobody's pointing the finger at themselves there in this scrum, Phaedra.
That's right.
A little bit of gamesmanship as we're set to get the game underway here.
Give me space. Give me space. Enough. Coach!
Referee on Selmy won't want this to become too much of a mess. He's going to want to sort this out pretty quickly. Now the scrums come together, and Arata. Good drive there by Uruguay. Just get a couple of meters to go forward. Ball comes from Nieto to Arata, and he makes a little bit of a break. Onto an onrushing Diego Ormachea. Ormachea makes a couple of meters. Arata Now back to Kat. And here we have looks like a crossing penalty against Uruguay. Canada is going to get to push this ball downfield. And, that's just getting your timing right with these guys.
Yeah, you gotta, and getting the timing right. Take another look at it. Just stepped across the line, or stepped through his line.
Canada doesn't seem to have done too well with that kick as it rolls through the back of the try zone there, and we're going to come all the way back.
I think both of these teams just need to kind of settle into their style. They're still really up jockeying for territory and jockeying for rights.
Feeling each other out. Yeah, and this is the first game of this tournament.
Sure.
Ok. Mario, ayúdame porque te va a ver ahora él. Míralo a ver si tira para abajo.
See the referee telling the AR to watch the bind on that side.
Crouch!
Let's go. Yeah, I think he's worried about these scrums. They've been a little bit messy so far. And as I said, Rata will once again pull at Nieto's feet. That one's stable. Nieto breaks off the back. He powers into a couple of defenders there, and it was opposite number, Luke Campbell. A little bobble there. We'll see if it went backwards. The referee is going to whistle it, and with a knock on there from Uruguay.
And he wants to get things under control right away. And that's the best thing. You don't want these players in all in each other's faces. It's just not good for the game.
We have another scrum. We're having a little bit of a front row forward showpiece in the first 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
This time it's going to be Jamie McKenzie to put it in for this Maple Leaf side. Short left side of the field. Backs out to the right. You can't see it in screen. See where they decide to go with this. McKenzie and Parfrey have a look. Great squeeze there by this Uruguayan scrum. And we have a penalty against Canada, and that's just incredible pressure. Finally pays off.
Yeah, power. They look so condensed and compact, and looks like they're just able to keep that corridor of power pushing right through Canada to create that penalty. That's remarkable. And like you said earlier, Canada's no slouch in the scrum.
And the Austin Elite player, Andres Villaseca, 27-year-old, another one playing in the North American Major League Rugby competition, puts that one down. Here's another look at it.
Uruguay just broke apart that Canadian scrum.
You could see how excited Nieto, the number 8, was there. It's become a point of pride with a lot of these teams when they can pull those penalties.
That's it.
Some people don't think it makes for the most flowing rugby all the time, but it's certainly pretty important tactically for these teams. As Uruguay goes up and gets the ball to Diego Magno. Magno took it down, and now Uruguay. The hooker Herman Kessler plays for Los Cuervos. Driving it forward. They've stopped up once. Now they're going to take a little move, and a little Arata chip forward there. Falls right into the hands of Federico Favato, I believe. And try number 1 for this Uruguayan side off just Santiago Arato. Good little look, good little kick. Yeah. Works out in the end.
I mean, beautiful line out, wonderful maul, did the job, moved Canada back a few meters, and then perfect timing to offload. Just accurate kick and just on-point bounce. It's beautiful rugby.
Worked out well for him. Favato gets the first try for the game, the first try for Uruguay as we take another little look here.
Nice little kick, and he knew he had that. He had the speed to back himself. Just great synergy between those players.
And great little look by someone to make that call to kick that in there. You know, I thought the scrum half Arata was headed into traffic there, and he just made something out of nothing and put it in behind. Great work there, and Favato is going to try to convert his own kick as a 27-year-old Old Christians player. Votto. He's got the distance. ARs look at each other. It's no good. Slides across the front, I believe, and it remains 5-0 as we take another little look here. Well played there. Oh, dots it down. And just under 15 minutes into this America's Rugby Championship game, Uruguay, Los Tanos have the lead. Turn. Shifts it wrong again. Cott pushes right downfield. We're going to have a Canadian scrum, almost an exact replay of the first kickoff of the game.
Yeah, Coach Kingsley Jones admitted that coming into this tournament, Uruguay knows a bit more about winning than Canada does, and so Canada's going to have to really pull to their strengths and play to their strengths in order to come out successful in this match.
They have some power up front. They have some speed out wide. I mean, they're going to put it together. Great rugby nation. Quick ball goes up there to Kyle Bailey, NOLA Gold player from Summerside, Prince Edward Island. Ball gets moved out quickly to the wing there. Good work by this Canadian team, but Andrew Coe gets pushed in a touch there. Now we're going to have a line out. And just a little more tempers flaring here. Coe is down pretty solidly there. Let's see what's happened.
Take a second look here, John. Coe just getting knocked. Oh! That was definitely a card, and it may be a red card, as deserved. It's so unnecessary. And he ends up, I think, concussing. Well, I don't want to make any conclusions, but he's out. He's clearly injured. Very dangerous play.
See what results in that. That was...
well, the whistle had sounded. I mean, that happened 2 or 3 seconds after play.
Well, referee Anselmi going over to take a look at this, I believe, with his TMO. As we all wish the best for Andrew Coe.
Again, he's clearly down. Whistle's blown. Number 9. Yeah, that's red card. That's red card territory, if you're asking me.
Absolutely.
Santiago Arata plays for Houston.
Key player in this Uruguayan side, but still no excuse for this kind of behavior.
Absolutely not. There's no room in the game for that.
The referee decides as he's taking a look at this here.
Flag is up, whistle's blown.
Yeah, this is
and that's can't say it enough.
Yeah.
¿Me escuchás ahí, Ale? Ale, ¿me escuchás? Listo, yo ya tengo la decisión. El jugador lo agarra del cuello, lo lleva al piso y el jugador de Canadá golpea con la cabeza de manera muy peligrosa. ¿Estás de acuerdo?
You know, it's protection. Player welfare is one of the most important thing. Is the most important thing in this game, and it's such already. I mean, contact sport, collisions all over the place. The likelihood and probability of being injured just playing fair and within the rules is fairly decent. When you add in this type of foul play, it blows it off the charts.
Agarrás del cuello, lo girás y lo haces golpear con la cabeza de manera muy peligrosa. Esta tarjeta roja, muy peligrosa.
And it is a red card. Zero tolerance for that kind of play, and Arata is out of the game. Uruguay is going to have to figure out a scrum half situation here. They're probably going to have to take another player off and sub somebody in.
I would hope that was unintentional, but that's one of those strict liability things, regardless of the intent.
And all the best to Andrew Coe from us. He's been taken off the field safely there. They have to bring on too many medical personnel. Shot of Arata. One last look at this bit of foul play. And that means Uruguay going to be 14 men for the rest of this game.
Yeah.
That could have a major impact, certainly as time goes on.
Yes, yes.
Up to Bailey. Go the Canadians. Getting the drive on here. Ball at the back in Eric Howard's hands. This time it's McKenzie, slips off the back. Another nearly high tackle. This time on Noah Lloyd. The Canadian forwards up to the 5-meter line. The Uruguayan player in the middle of that, so we have an advantage here for a player not rolling away. Penalty against Uruguay. Canada here have a couple of options.
And hats off to Canada for being good sports. You know, they could have dealt with that situation a lot differently than they are. So,
absolutely. A little discussion here among the Canadian players as to what to do, and Pat Parfrey is going to put this one in to touch, and they're going to have a 5-meter line out in a great position to drive this one in and even up that score. Or if they convert it, to better that score. Another shot of Arata.
See,
I hope when he sees the replay, he realizes
making some comments there.
Yeah.
He's a little confused, like what?
Oh, he's going on right up to the
Clean
TMO.
Case. Yeah.
That doesn't do well for you to not take it well. There's a little slip ball over the top, but it winds up in Rumball's hands. The captain safely gets it down. No maul to happen. We have some powerful Canadian forwards driving towards the line here. Sears Duru has to slide over that one. Good counter-rucking work there by the Uruguayans. McKenzie looking for runners. He's got Sears Duru. Sears Duru hit nice and low by this Uruguayan defense. And Gaminara comes up and tries to come over it. And locks onto that ball and not released by a Canadian player. And Juan Manuel Gaminara, the captain, shuts that one down.
Yeah, look, they're very good they're good in those contact pieces and those rucks. Uruguay has shown that they can get in there, weasel their way, get their hands on the ball, time it perfectly, and turn it over. Take another look here. And you see Canadian bodies are there. They're just not in position to safeguard that ball.
My mistake, though, was the other flanker, Juan Diego Ormachea, that did that. Yeah, you can see him picking up Sears right there. That's a not releasing if there ever was.
Yeah, he's a monster on that ball. That's his second. That's actually his second poach or attempted poach.
Carrasco polo player there. As Uruguay make a change here. I assume they are bringing on Tomas Inciarte, replacement scrum half, and Favaro, one of the flankers, is going to. Favaro, the wing, who actually kicked the last goal, is off the field for the rest of the game because of that Arata yellow red card. And a penalty against Canada that time.
Well, at least he got a try.
Before he left, he did get to score a try, but
yeah, and actually a very good try.
I think he'll be a little unhappy with Arata as well.
Yes.
As Uruguay pushed the ball downfield. And a nice kick there, just outside the Canadian 22.
Just stay behind. Don't swing around. Simple like that. Stay behind. Don't check your mind.
Feel bad for Favaro there.
I do. It's just not. Yeah. It's not fair.
Out of the game through no fault of his own.
Not fair at all, and he's played very well.
Yes. Kessler puts it in, and a little miscue there as the Canadians are able to smuggle it away, and McKenzie takes it into contact. And we have Connor Keys off to the left with Sears Duru in support of him. McKenzie has time to get up that time. Another box kick coming from the Ontario-born scrum half. Ball at midfield there, knocked on by Uruguay that time. So Canada has an advantage here in a free run, and nice work. Oh, nearly intercepted there, but another knock on by Uruguay, and another advantage here for Canada. And Canada moving the ball forward there through. Oh, Andrew Coe is still on the field, actually. I thought he might have been taken off because we haven't seen him in our shots. But Andrew Coe, after getting dropped on his head, is still out. Good to hear.
Canada was offsides there. Jamie McKenzie in front of the kicker. That was actually a big penalty because they had such great field position and they had the momentum going forward. And ironically, the Uruguayan player knocked it or bumbled the ball, in the try zone. So it's really unfortunate.
Uruguay another long kick on their penalty, and they'll have just inside the Canadian 40-meter line another line out. See if they can convert this one.
Getting the booth shot there.
Get a little look at the media booth there. On a beautiful Montevideo evening. Comes down quickly. Inciarte, the replacement scrum half, moves it on. Again, moves it out there. Canada counter-rucking here, but ball not coming. So it's going to be a scrum here for Uruguay. Great job by those Canadian forwards to slow it down.
Yeah, really good job. Uruguay is going to really have to play efficient and hard in those rucks because they have obviously one player less in the back line, so they're going to have to push. Those forwards are going to really have to push the backs to make up for that missing player. That's going to be a lot of work all game.
Slow to get going here for some reason with this scrum. Referee Anselmi happy to let them do so, as he wants these scrums to be set. Inciarte will put his first ball in at scrum time. Another Old Christians player.
Coach! Fine! Sit! Ready!
Stable scrum there. It's back at Nieto's feet. Trying to draw the penalty as this Uruguayan set of forwards. Ball's a mess in the middle there, but they do draw that penalty. Canada just couldn't hold, and Uruguay about 40 meters out, right in front, could have a shot at goal or go to the corner.
Yeah, the Canadian pack to me just doesn't look confident. That's bottom line. They have the size, they have, the skill. They just don't look like they have the confidence that Uruguay has. Uruguay is coming in nice and low, tight, and they're owning it. And you just see it in the body language, body positioning.
There's a shot of exactly what Phaedra's talking about as Canada skews around there. And Uruguay draws that penalty.
And then you look at the height difference. Uruguay is much lower to the ground. They just look really strong.
With Favaro off the field, Juan Manuel Cat, the 22-year-old, is going to take over kicking duties here. Pretty straight in front, about 38 meters. Just a couple of short steps there. Struck it well, struck it true, and extends the lead. It is now Uruguay 8, Canada 0. About 25 minutes into this first half of America's Rugby Championship action. I think, really a pretty evenly matched game here. I mean, they're going back and forth quite a bit. Uruguay's got it on the scoreboard right now, but Canada, no problem coming back.
Well, no problem coming back, but they're also playing one person up. You got to keep that in mind. And Uruguay they're going to continue to pound on them.
Take the points wherever they can.
Exactly.
Inciarte moves it out. One of his waiting forwards, that's Captain Gavinata, 29-year-old in his 60th cap today. Inciarte with the box kick. Gets it up over the Canadian player. Out about his own 40-meter line. Little theatrical collision there by one of the Uruguayan players trying to draw a penalty.
Nice drop, dramatic fall.
It's not Oscar's time yet. Sears Duru, the Seattle Seawolves player, gets involved in the action, and now his front row prop partner Matt Tierney. That's it, but turns it over there, and it's picked up by Ignacio Dotti, another Enola Gold player, another Major League Rugby player in this Uruguayan side. And Juan Manuel Cat Fly half can only bring it back in. Uruguay is going to need to get their structure sorted out right here. Ball back to Cut. I think with one player down, especially out on the wing, they're going to be playing a lot of territory here as Souter, the Vancouver native, puts the ball down deep inside Uruguay territory. Uruguay keeping it in again. We're in a game of ping pong here. This ball gets moved across from Coe to Souter. Souter this time looking to just push it and drop it in field, but out on the full. We're going to come all the way back.
Yeah, that's unlucky. It just about looked like it went out by a foot. I know he's regretting that.
Yeah, just a little over. You know, playing in new stadiums all the time, sometimes it's hard to judge and feel comfortable with that. He just pushed that one a little far.
Uruguay hiding their hand here on this line out, approaching it very slowly.
Sigario goes in to tell Kessler what the plan is. And the plan is a pretty simple line out to the front. And off they go. Cott. Powered across the 40-meter line there into Nieto's hands. Nieto takes it in safely there. Cott again gets it out to Ormachea. Ormachea to Fritas, the speedy wing, hasn't done too much today. Ball gets ripped out of his hands, however. And to Theo Souders in Canada, just inside their 22. And McKenzie gets the ball out to the big number 8, Luke Campbell, James Bay player. Referee telling McKenzie it's time to use it, and the box kick goes up from inside the 22. And he finds touch. We'll have a Uruguayan line out here, just about 42 meters out from the Canadian line.
Uruguay doing a great job in the forwards of taking the ball in groups of 3, which is really turning over that ball very quickly. Or not turning over, but
reproducing that ball.
Repositioning it, recycling the ball very quickly. They need to do that in their backs, though. You noticed when they get isolated, they're disruptible.
Good work there by Canada to disrupt that line out. Winds up back in Kessler's hands, but he's dragging a touch. Well, the Canadian line out here. And, as much as in the scrums, Uruguay has been pretty dominant in the lineouts. Canada's doing a great job here.
Yeah. Take another look. Nice turnover there by the hooker.
Come back to the scrum here for the knock-on instead of the line-out.
This has indeed been Uruguay's strength, too, against Canada.
Canada may have preferred to take that line-out
exactly.
where he went out there. But they, that confidence you're talking about, they need to just muscle it up and get a couple of good scrums under the belt. Go a long way for that confidence. As Sears
well, you see the feet, right?
One, sit.
Siate, the Uruguayan, puts it in. Ito moves it off there. A nice little run as Villaseca comes in. And penalty there is against Uruguay that time as the ball was held in. Canada will have this penalty and a chance to move the ball downfield. A few more tempers flaring here on this Canadian team.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of extracurricular activity going on the floor. Holding heads down and things like that. You just need to keep it within the context of the game and play. But that said, Canada giving Uruguay a piece of their own, a little bit of dose of their own medicine. Great turnover.
Canada pushed the ball well downfield. The line out at the Uruguay 40-meter line. Now, you pull everyone into the line out here, you have an extra person on the outside. You've got somebody unmarked somewhere with that wing on the field.
Let's say you do that. Let's say actually you either do a mini drive or a full-on drive, so you can suck a few folks in, or even a pause a delay there.
They go for a tricky little move back to Eric Howard, a 25-year-old, and then out to Sears Duru. They're trying to draw some defenders into the midfield as Parfrey moves it out to Hearn, Kieran Hearn, the London Irish player from Newfoundland. Works his way up past the game line. Canada cycle set to go again through McKenzie. McKenzie there to Bailey. Bailey in the contact that time. McKenzie has it go on his own. Is he going to get the support? As Uruguay was over that ball, but the referee says the Uruguayan player was off his feet, but good effort.
Yeah, good effort, but you see Canada starting to move the ball a little bit quicker so that they can expose that overload. They've got to do it, I think they've got to do it a little bit faster, though.
Canada's electing to go for points here to try to get some points on the board, settle the nerves. Pretty straightforward shot here.
Canada's really struggling in those scrums. Their feet are moving in the front row, very unsteady and unbalanced.
And they'll probably, I mean, they got a few weeks together here with this America's Rugby Championship. They'll probably focus on that quite a bit, I'd say.
I'm sure that'll be on the list, things to do.
Kick is lined up here. A little pre-kick routine. And no good. They cannot get the point with a pretty straightforward shot. And it remains 8-0 Uruguay over Canada here in Montevideo. Souter unlucky with that one. His sixth game for this Canadian national side. 22 here for Uruguay. And Uruguay want to play the territory game here and put this one pretty far downfield as Kotz gets it just inside the 50-meter. Canada lets it bounce. And the big fella, Luke Campbell, bashes through a couple of people and off they go through Parfrey. Maybe a slightly forward pass there. Referee doesn't say so, and it winds up in Larson's hands. Canadian ball again as Connor Keys handled the ball a couple times in this first half, gets it, and it's into the Captain Rumball's hands. Parfrey once again looking for some runners. Kieran Hearn slightly isolated there. He's going to need some support players. Sears Duru comes in to do the job. Ball back out through the hands now, and they may have some runners here. We'll see where they go. Canada hauled down just by the shoelaces outside of the 22. And the ball again into big Connor Keys' hands. Referee telling the Uruguayan team to release there. McKenzie once again gets it to Kieran Hearn, but Kieran Hearn lets the ball slip out of his hands. Advantage of the Uruguay, and we're going to have a scrum to Uruguay after all that great Canadian work.
I mean, that was just phase after phase of good work, and then loss of focus, knock on. That will just crush you. Take another look. He just takes his eyes off the ball, and you know he wanted to pass it, but he wasn't. His hands and his brain weren't relaying the right message. So
Kieran Hearn at 6'3", 220 is a real powerful inside center there. He's just, you know, hitting that hole. I don't know if he was looking for a pass or what he was looking for, but it doesn't quite come to hand. And Uruguay will be happy about that to get the scrum just outside their 22. As we're
Kieran plays his rugby professionally with the London Irish, the Premiership. He made that move November 2nd, 2015, so he's been playing with them for quite a while.
Referee addressing the Uruguayan front row there. Ciate set to put it in. We're just over 5 minutes ago, actually, in this first half. Ball bounces in the middle there, and it's stuck in the middle of the scrum as Canada barrels over it. And Canada's going to take one against the head here. That's a huge moment for them. As the ball goes out to the outside center of the stage, and he is making a little bit of ground here. McKenzie has a runner coming onto it, and it's that big man, Campbell. He's never shy around the contact. He starts to work it across the field. Stretch this Uruguayan defense. Ball moves out back there to Souter. Souter goes wide. Footed Lesage. Uruguayan player over it, but they're able to roll him away as Sears Duru steps one, makes a couple of meters, is able to get up and keep running. But the referee wanted him to actually get up and not roll forward. It's going to be a penalty against Sears Duru because he couldn't get to his feet.
I honestly think that's karma, because on that last scrum, although Canada technically won it against the head, they collapsed on the right side. I don't know if that's exactly legal. In fact, actually, I do know that's not legal.
All right, I'm going to take a World Rugby player, World Rugby Hall of Famers' advice on that one and agree with you, as Uruguay looks to push his ball downfield. Gets it just inside their own 40. Just about 4 minutes to go in this first half. We'll take another little look at this here from Sears Duru.
He gets a couple of rolls in, and a little run, little running man on the ground, crawl.
He had to get to his feet there.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah. He could have just got himself up. He'd have been fine.
He would have. Just pop up and keep moving.
Uruguay. Unclean ball again there, but they're able to take it down. Diego Magno, Houston SaberCats player. And Ciarte just behind his runners there, but they're okay as Souter takes it down in the night lights, and Lloyd looking for some space, and there goes Lloyd across the 50-meter line. He puts a pass in. Great work by Coe. Attempted a trip tackle. That would have been a problem. As the ball moves out to Kieran Hearn, and Kieran Hearn dots it down. Try awarded to Canada. They're on the board. That's going to make them happy at the end of this first half. Great play there.
Great play. Great exploitation of a defense that you had, you overmanned. You got an overload on the outside somewhere, and Canada just did a great job of offloading, supporting, running really effective lines.
Great, couple little passes. The pass from Lloyd here isn't the best, but well handled there by Coe. He's got Hearn on the outside. Souter hits him. Kieran Hearn slides right in the corner. Good work.
I think the key is getting the ball out, and they've been playing a lot, in the forwards and trying to attack the midfield. And there was attack on the outside shoulder, and they got into that outside channel, and that's where the glory was for them.
They have some great players out wide there. They use that speed and that one-man advantage with Favaro off the field to make a big difference. As Theo Souter, that's his first shot at goal. We'll see how he does here. Souter pushes that one just off to the right this time. He's not too good with the boot so far today. I'm sure he'll find his groove at some point, as just under 2 minutes to go. We're at 8-5, Uruguay over Canada. Juan Manuel Cott taking his time. Decent kick over there as the Uruguayans go up for it. And wanted to bring that down, but a little knock on in the air there.
Yeah, got to give him credit for the effort. He went for it.
Have just outside their own 22. Canada will have a scrum. The waning moments of this first half.
Let's just watch how this Canadian front row lines up, and they still haven't, I don't think, found their flow. It's a lot of movement.
Tierney just touches the ground to get himself the right height there. McKenzie. The ball into Campbell. They're going to want to get this out of there fairly quickly. I don't think they want to get in that brawl. As Coe, forcing her right after that big hit earlier, comes in. McKenzie thought about the box kicks, but decides he's going to go to a couple of his runners there as the hooker, Eric Howard, Ottawa-born player, playing down in New Orleans in Major League Rugby. And now the ball up for Coe to chase. Bounce back and forth a couple of times. Knocked on there initially by Uruguay. And that's the end of our first half here in Montevideo at Charrua Stadium. It is 8-5 Los Teros over Canada. We'll be back with first half highlights and some analysis right after these messages. Welcome back to this ESPN Plus presentation of the Americas Rugby Championship, where Los Teros of Uruguay lead the Maple Leafs of Canada 8-5. We're back. We're going to bring you some halftime highlights and analysis here after a pretty tightly contested first half here at Charrua Stadium.
Take a look at here. Look at the first try that was scored by Uruguay. See this driving maul and just wonderful chip kick and the perfect bounce for Favaro, right? And unfortunately, he ended up.
Interestingly, both of the guys in that play are now off the field.
Right.
Arata and Favaro, but Favaro touches down a nice try there, couldn't convert it. Yeah, tough luck. Here we have a look at Canada getting a run on as the ball moves to Co. And here's this unfortunate accident.
And this sent Scrum have Arata out of the game, the red card.
We're all very happy here that Co is okay and able to play on in the game. I didn't see him at first, but he was able to keep playing. Pretty nasty hit there, and Arata is going to face a disciplinary committee. He could be out for a little while.
Yeah, he may be looking at some time off.
Here's a look at Juan Manuel Cat, the fly half. 22-year-old slots some more points for Los Teros in this first half.
And then Canada answering this is a great run. Strong run, taken by number 11, and just offloads. And this is where the 14 on 15 really counts and hurts Uruguay, obviously. They finally took advantage of the overload, and Hearn dotted down for 5 there. But it was a definite back line effort that led to that try.
Yeah, that was right where that Favato could have been right there on that wing. And they took advantage of it. They realized it. Kieran Hearn touches it down. Great job there. So 8-5 with second half to come in this game. It should be an absorbing second half. We'll see if Canada can make the most of that extra man. We're going to be back with some stats in just a minute. It's halftime here at Charrua Stadium in this America's Rugby Championship contest where Uruguay leads Canada 8-5. We're going to be bringing you a little statistical analysis of how things have gone for these teams in the first half, where it's a pretty tight game so far, one-man advantage, but let's have Phaedra Knight take a look at these stats.
Yeah, Uruguay just very powerful in the scrums, very dominant. Won 5 of the scrums that they've had, and Canada's just 1 for 1, a 50% rate. That's not so great. You want to be at least 80% for your own set pieces. Conversions, Uruguay coming up short, and Canada as well.
Yeah, but on the flip side, in the lineouts there, I mean, Uruguay's lost 2 of their lineouts to Canada. Canada's been perfect on theirs, 6-0. So, the set piece strength is going one way for one team, one way for the others. They're going to look to dominate that in the second half. If I was Canada, I'd be pushing, kick the ball out. Let's have some lineouts here. Let's play down their end of the field.
Yeah, and something the team never wants to see is a red card, and we've got that registered up here as we saw in the replays. Just the things you want to avoid, and so hopefully Canada doesn't match, and I'm sure they won't. And hopefully Uruguay can keep their cool and play the rest of this game,
Yep.
the way that they should.
8-5. We'll be back with kickoff of the second half right after these messages. We are back here with another great aerial shot of Charrua Stadium in Montevideo for this America's Rugby Championship second half. Final game of round one. Uruguay leads Canada 8-5. This is John Broker with Phaedra Knight bringing you the second half action as Uruguay are ready to kick off here. We'll talk about first half analysis and what Phaedra thinks the coaches have said to their team.
Well, for Canada, it's let's continue to get better. We've been getting better at, from the start of this game. Let's exploit that overload, move the ball quickly, retain possession. Keep it simple.
That we're going to kick off, they were going to go to it. So, yeah, retain that possession, keep it, and use that extra man for Canada. Just keep it out wide. Remember, you got an extra person out there. They scored on it. And Uruguay we'll talk about in just a minute. As we're set to kick off here through Juan Manuel Cat. Short kickoff, trying to contest there. Canada able to come down with it. And McKenzie gets set for a first box kick to start the second half. Just 3 points in it here in Montevideo. Both of these teams want the win, of course, and want to really put a stamp on this thing as a little bit of an error there. We're going to have a line out here for Canada off of that mistake.
I'm not sure. That's the second time Uruguay has done that.
Yeah.
Just let the ball go out.
Canada goes quickly this time. Gets the ball up to the hard-charging number 8, Luke Campbell, 6'3", 230 pounds. Souter moves that ball out wide to Coe. Coe, well tackled, legally this time. Rumball takes it, powers his way forward, keeps those legs pumping. Quick ball from McKenzie to Parfrey. They're going to keep these forwards running at him, try to open up that space out wide. And that was the man again, Campbell. It's open room for Souter on the outside, but he couldn't quite get it there. Steps and shows it to a couple. He's just 10 meters out. And there he goes, Theo Souter. He slides over the line. Try awarded. Great individual effort by the fullback. Yeah, what a run.
Absolutely, but it started with Canada just moving that ball quickly. They were taking it at pace. This is not what we saw in the first half. They're doing a really exceptional job of playing off of each other, moving the ball out quickly, and again, that's what they need to do in order to exploit that one-man overload, and they did it very well there.
I'm sure that was Kingsley Jones' message to them, make that room and use it, and Theo Souter certainly took the advice here as we look at his feet. Nice little footwork there, step to either side.
Well, he had the mismatch against the prop, just a little stiff arm and step, and he had it.
And he's certainly happy about that as Souter. As we have our first lead change of the game, it's 10-8, the Maple Leafs over Los Teros early in the second half, under 2 minutes. And they have gotten themselves on the board with Souter to convert his own kick here.
Finally got it.
And it's 12-8 Canada. Let's talk about the coach here for Uruguay.
I think the talk to Uruguay is let's play the territory game. Let's keep the ball, keep pressure on. We want to stay as far away from or as close to Canada's try line as we can. And let's do what we were doing in the beginning of the game.
Down a man, we got to contest the breakdown, we got to play down there into the field. Absolutely be advice, but Canada regathers that kickoff there.
Stay ready, stay true. Yes.
Harper pushes it downfield. Rodrigo Silva, the fullback, hoists a high one. To the lights there. Up here for Canada, taking it, push this one. Rolls on the ground. Silva back to take it. Silva goes for a short kick there. Happened for him, unfortunately. Into contact, go Canada. Kenzie on the floor, so they have to take it on their own. Souter stepped into that scrum half spot. Couldn't find the footwork he did last time. Gets taken down, but Kenzie goes wide for Kainoa Lloyd. Kainoa Lloyd from Mississauga, Ontario. Another Toronto Arrows player. Parfait again. Big Josh Larson. Now they'll go through the back there to Souter. They're looking to exploit that space again. Sage couldn't quite find it. He's got a Uruguayan player locked over him, but he's been taken to the ground, so they're good to go. As McKenzie into the forwards to Howard. Parfait again out the back, and they're really looking at this space now as Kainoa Lloyd can't quite find it out there and has to take it into contact. Sears Duru thought about having a run with it, but waited for Kenzie to come through there. And now Sears Duru is going to have a run. Great work there, and great penalty drawn there by Inciarte. Locked over Sears Duru. Nothing he could do.
That's it. He saw the Canadian player was a little bit isolated. He got in great position, kept his feet, and then just hopped on that ball as soon as the Canada player went down. And that's going to be key, right? The other thing that Uruguay has to do is they have to be careful with how many players they commit to these defensive rucks, because they have to recycle players to cover that one-man deficiency. Take another look here. You'll see just a great read on defense.
But Sears Duru doesn't have a support player within 5 yards of him either side there.
No support player. And if you're in that situation, you've got to be aware enough to keep your feet. Just keep driving, twisting, and turning until your support gets there. And he failed to do that.
There's Herman Kessler, puts it to the front of the lineout, simplifying that lineout as this Uruguayan team. The ball gets up to Ormachea, the Carrasco Polo player. Carrasco Polo club. And a little slip there, but it goes backwards. Referee says all's good as the Canadians come barreling over that ruck. And this time penalty, holding it in on just trying to clean it up there on Uruguay. It's going to be a Canadian penalty just about 40 meters out.
And there you go. It's just back and forth. Just the volley here.
And they're going to go for posts on this one, try to extend that lead. I thought they might go for the corner, but Souter's going to have another shot at it here.
Souter actually quite quick, as we saw in his last try. He played rugby sevens for the Maple Leafs back in 2013, and he played for Canada U20s as a wing as well.
Been in the system a while here, now playing with the Arrows. Looking to even up his percentages here. He's 1 for 3. He'd love to be 2 for 4 after this kick. He's pretty straight in front. Souter, he's got the leg. And no good. Just slipped across the post there. It was hard to see from our angle. For 4 is Souter. They've extended the lead there for this Canadian side. Tough.
Yeah, his percentages aren't great on the kick today.
See if they decide to bring someone else, but here can make up for it as Souter steps around one, steps around a couple, and breaks through a half gap. Makes some good yardage there for the Maple Leafs. Kenzie has to dig it out. Kenzie, the 29-year-old. Now they go for the width again, looking to exploit that extra man. They're not going to those other runners there as Hearn takes that one in. Here's Sears Duru, but he's got some support players with him this time. Kenzie is walking through the Sage. The Sage just pops it up. Hearn is going to have to reset this one. Hearn holds his feet. McKenzie looking for a runner. Kainoa Lloyd isolated now. Paul is here as one of the Uruguayans just digging that out.
I don't know if that Uruguayan defender that just pulled the ball out is number 5. I don't know if he was on his feet. He did that legally, Diego Magna.
Te voy a dar tiempo.
Take a look at here as
Take a look there.
Not going to get to see it as the referee puts a shrill whistle up. Not too happy with the defensive lineouts crossing there. Long here for Canada. McKenzie puts it out into the midfield. They look to get back really quickly to Lloyd for a deception play. It doesn't quite pay off. Run ball, the captain can't get taken down by 2, 3, 4 Uruguayan defenders. Ball is in Kieran Hearn's hands. Kieran Hearn chips one through. Kainoa Lloyd is running onto it. Uruguayan defender able to scoop that one up and touch it down. Referee's going to stop and talk to the assistant referee to make a call here, but could have been a try-saving move there by the Uruguayan defender.
Yeah, most certainly. Canada just doing an exceptional job of driving their feet in contact at moments, and it's really being effective, pulling in more and more of these Uruguayan defenders, creating these openings all over the place.
It was the Uruguayan defender taking it back over the line there, so we're going to have a Canadian scrum just 5 meters out. Should be interesting.
That's just a skillful kick. Not quite with the accuracy needed. You see number 8 for Uruguay, Nieto, taking it back into the try zone.
Replacement happened. Shepard is on for Larson. Shepard, another Arrows player, graduate of McMaster University. Kenzie gets it in. A good squeeze there by Uruguay. Canada's going to have to do something quickly here. Campbell does. Gets the ball out. They have to quickly regather here. Remember, they have an extra man advantage. They can move it. And there's a penalty. A little crossing there by that Canadian team. A little too anxious.
Yeah, at this level, you got to cut those obstruction runs out. It's just bad communication, poor running lines, and very costly.
Even a man down, Uruguay is going to take that one quick, and it's paying off for them. They're out just inside their 40-meter line. Kieran Hearn is down, so both teams have 14 players at the moment. As Silva, the fullback, takes that one into contact. Ball gets moved quickly, and that's big Ignacio Dante, 6'5", 235. Bring all that in there, and Cott puts up a high one just to the Canadian 40-meter line there. Souter draws the attention of several defenders from Uruguay, and able to take him down. Kenzie, again, a little tip pass there to Sears Duru. Able to recycle that one as the ball gets moved across the field. It's Hearn again. Now Kainoa Lloyd. What can Kainoa Lloyd do with this? Just gets past the tackle. Run ball, the captain. Taken down quickly that time. He's typically gotten a few meters out of things. The ball goes up into the center of the field, but knocked down by Sears Duru. We have an advantage here for Uruguay. We'll see what they decide to do as Inciarte plays the territory game. Puts it down to Ko, who may have knocked that one on. We'll find out in a second. The referee doesn't think so. Just bounce forward. Here we are on the run. He's one of the replacement forwards there. That's Mike Shepard. Hearn flips the ball off. Now we got some room to run here. The ball quickly moves wide to Lesage. Lesage tripped up.
Leave it now! Leave it!
Referee telling the Uruguayans to let that ball go, and they're going to go wide with this one and try to make it happen as Shepard bobbles it a couple of times, but able to hold on to it. Immediate impact player as that replacement.
Leave it now!
Ball in the middle of that mess there. Move quickly to Ko. Brought to ground eventually there. Uruguayan fans not happy with something. Canada stringing together some phases here. Let's see if it's going to pay off for him. As Sears Duru gets tripped up. Really bobbled that one. Referee has got an offsides here, I assume, against Uruguay. Canada's going to have the penalty. Manuel Katz is down.
And if I were Canada here, I know Sauter's not had the best kicking day, but he's right in front of the post. I'd go for points.
Certainly extend that lead to a converted try.
They've been down in this area twice now. The last time it was just an obstruction in the run, and you know it's so hard when you're that close to cough up the ball, but you know, guarantee the points, kick it, give yourself that much more space. I'm interested in knowing what they're talking about right now.
Assistant referee having a chat here.
Por la fuerza que lo haces amarilla. ¿Estás 100% seguro? Sí. Perfecto. ¿Cuál es la marca? Ok. 13. 13. Yes.
Reverted to English, so we're assuming he's going to speak to the Canadian 13, Lesage.
Listen to me. It's a push and shove, and you go with the shoulder. He was in the back. He's dangerous. It's a yellow card.
Wow. Sage on the field. We're 14 on 14
14 on 14. Now we got a game.
This is pretty interesting. The Canadian advantage in the backs is gone. And it's going to be an interesting 10 minutes here. See if Uruguay can capitalize on that. Yeah, keep pushing their lead.
It should the burden should be lessened after that for Uruguay.
So in literature, they call that a good plot twist. Uruguay with the penalty. It was a Canadian offsides. Uruguay going to move the ball downfield. Not finding touch, however. Theo Sauter goes to the air with this one. Good heights. Ko could have probably gotten under that, the wing, but knocked forward there, kicked forward by a Uruguayan player. It's going to be a Canadian lineout.
You just gotta time that better. I know that he's running on full speed. We'll go back to the penalty. And it's something we can't see quite so. Oh yeah.
Oh, in the back of your screen there. It's a little temper running over.
Yeah.
By the Canadian outside center. UBC Thunderbird. Ball comes out to Hearn. Takes it straight up. Well, he tries to come over that one. Sears Duru bumps off the first one. Parfrey tries to make the gap himself and pushes his way through. Ball to Howard. Eric Howard. His 18th cap today. Kenzie looking for some runners, tries to go along with it, but Uruguayan hand gets to it in the form of Villaseca. Kenzie, defender right on him, gets the ball to Connor Keys. Canada recycles again here. Advantage is over. Lucas Rumball brings a couple of support players with him, keeps his feet long enough, and Sauter just chips one up over the top of the Uruguayan players, and it bounces out deep inside Uruguayan territory. Good move with the dominance in the lineout that Canada's had. Yeah,
they've been spectacular all day in the lineout. Take a look there.
Well, that was, yeah.
A little high-fiving, if you will.
Just a little error there. Earns him a yellow card.
Numbers 4.
It'll be a Uruguayan lineout.
Yeah, you can bet Canada's going to contest this pretty hardcore.
Looks like we have a couple of substitutions making their way on the field, possibly. And we do. Echeverria in for the tight head. Echeverria has 44 caps. He's a veteran on this team. He'll bring some good 20 minutes, 20-25 minutes of this. Another Austin elite player playing in the North American Major League Rugby competition. Canada spoils that line out, and they're on the attack right here. Ball gets popped back to Howard. Kenzie looking for runners. Rumball wants it. The captain certainly ready to lead from the front as he's done all day. Again, they have another couple of great runners. McKenzie wants him closer, but slides it in behind him to Hearn. Hearn nearly finds his way through. Campbell spins just around one, and they reset as the ball comes to Sears Duru. Sears Duru stopped by 3 Uruguayan defenders. Parfrey looking for a runner there. He finds Coe. Coe can't find his way through. Good defense there by Uruguay. Rumball gets the ball slipped by him there. It's into Tierney's hands. Tierney pushed back just a bit. Uruguay, big hit there on Campbell. They maintain possession, however, but they're moving just slightly back. About 15 meters out. They were up at the 5-meter line before. They're going to have to get a little go forward or possibly some width in this ball as Theo Sauter pushes that one through for Hearn to run onto. But Inciarte, the replacement scrum half, is able to come down with it.
Yeah, that was a really saving play he made, getting on that ball. Great defense. I mean, that was a pretty remarkable defensive stand by Uruguay. Really driving back the Canadians, putting the leg drive in those tackles.
Yeah, they really pushed them. You know, they were running the line there. They pushed them back about 15 meters out, and they just couldn't find the width. The team there, as we're having another change here, is Leandro Segredo comes in, 23-year-old from the Old Christians Club.
That young man had a great game. He turned over a lot of ball, made some tackles.
Sauter has had ball in hand a lot this game and pretty effective when he does so. Kainoa Lloyd, the recipient of that pass from Shepard. And on the attack again are the Maple Leafs. And penalized again are the Uruguayans. We are going to have an opportunity here, probably to push it into the corner.
Yeah, they're not rolling out of those rucks. They're just being a little bit lazy. And they weren't doing that at the beginning of the game. I don't know if it's a matter of fatigue or if they're just, you know, I don't know, trying to slow things down.
We are just under the 60-minute mark. 3/4 of this game done, as we're going to have a Canadian lineout just inside the 22 here.
You can see again Uruguay really not making a good effort to get out of the way. Well, that was a replay on that tackle a few phases ago.
Coe.
On Coe.
Coe's had a couple of rough tackles today.
Yeah, he's had a day.
God bless him. Eric Howard has the ball at the back of this maul. Kenzie driving his troops. Kainoa Lloyd, bit of a flat ball there. He was hit that at pace. There was a little bit of space. McKenzie back to Rumball. Rumball bounces off of one. Here they go to Shepard, the replacement. Short time on the field, Shepard. He's had ball in hand quite a bit and been very effective there, very powerful. Now the ball's kept up in the air by Canada as they head towards the line. McKenzie quickly to a bursting player coming onto that with really good pace. Knocking on the door is this Canadian team as the ball goes to Keys. They're going to keep coming the same way, look for a runner. And there's McKenzie, and McKenzie gets it over. And Canada extend their lead here in this America's Rugby Championship. Great pressure, great play, able to sneak in.
I mean, they've been threatening to do that for quite a while now, Canada, and eventually you keep banging on the door, it's going to open, and they broke it open. Jamie McKenzie just taking it really quick and exploiting that channel, that inside channel. It's just, you've got to be on, if you're Uruguay, on defense in this area of the field. You've just got to stay maintain that wall defense, and they just slipped up.
And that's just enough times in the same direction gave McKenzie a little shot there, and he saw that space, and he was certainly going to take it. Great effort by the scrum half. You'll see him here. Just come around and spots it. It just opens up for him. They had a number of runners out there, a couple of options out wide, but managed to keep it himself. And 17-8, Canada over Uruguay. Midway through this second half here in Montevideo.
McKenzie spent some time, obviously, in the U.S. He attended Harvard University's business school in 2015.
McKenzie did?
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't know that. Great Ivy League education there as Souter 1 for 4, now 1 for 5. Not having a good day with the boot, but Canada still ahead. Bit to play here for Uruguay. More than a converted try away, so Uruguay is going to have to pick it up here as Gattas comes on for Sanguinetti. Soto comes on for Magno. Canada, Coe. Coe ran into Kessler there, but not releasing who was that player, and it's going to be a Canadian penalty here.
Uruguay looks a bit tired to me, and Canada's actually gaining more energy as they go along in the match. Playing better, playing with more fight.
And it looks like this is another hard hit on Coe here.
That ruck was, I guess, declared formed. Or was it offsides? Let's take another look.
See Coe there just battling to get that ball back.
And the
pushed it down.
stands are a little bit quiet right now.
A little bit quiet from the Uruguayan fans here. A great little stadium. Looks like Coe is up and moving again.
Getting a little massage.
Yeah, after what he's been through today,
He deserves it.
He deserves a little bit of pampering there. As they're going to go up to Connor Keys, bounces it off to Sears Duru's head, and now back out. Canada makes some yards, and now they're going to go wide or go for the kick. High up to the 22. Silva takes it down with Kainoa Lloyd on him. Does a good job of it. Joaquin Prada, the outside center, takes it into contact there. Uruguay, a little tip pass. And that was Sotomera, that replacement that took that in. And Inciarte attempts the box kick, but blocked by Campbell there. Great work by Luke Campbell to block that one. Winds up back in Uruguayan hands. A little ways across the field as Shepard makes the tackle there. Inciarte looking for some options out. And Uruguay just not really putting it together in the last couple of minutes here, as one of their replacements, Leandro Segredo, 23-year-old, takes it in. And off they go again through Sotomera, another Carrasco Polo Rugby Club player. Here goes Kott, looking for the seam, can't find it. Uruguayan forwards a bit by himself there, gets a ball. And Nieto works his way over. Trying to bust through with Silva in the first receiver position. Tip pass on there from Echevarria. Tying together the phases of this Uruguayan team here. Let's see if they can make it pay off. Nearly did there as Freitas almost busted through that hole, but shut down eventually. And they're making some ground here as they head towards the 22 as Uruguay. They need to just keep this going. They have an advantage now. Canada player is just not rolling away. Maybe a little intentional there, Phaedra, to slow this down, but penalty for Uruguay.
I think they felt like they were losing control. Uruguay, initially, like you said, it looked a bit choppy. Maybe the transition from bringing subs in wasn't so great, but found their flow and put together some really remarkable phases of play there. You see Canada having some cramping issues. Piers stretching out calves.
Yeah, it's,
like solder on the ground. Looks like a shoulder.
Traveling to South America for these teams, winter to summer can be a little tough.
A little ice therapy.
Uruguay discussing these last 14 minutes. Certainly attainable a win for Uruguay here, but they really have to put some things together, and an ever-increasing in confidence Canada looking good at the moment. I have to work through that defense.
I agree.
Penalty here.
I'd be leery of the line out for Uruguay.
Yeah.
Just haven't had good success.
They had a couple. They won this half. They just got it in there quick, right up to the front. I don't think you want to be too complex with these things. You just want to get that ball in there and start the drive coming forward.
When they do, you're right. When they do get it, they drive, and they drive effectively. But I don't know. It's been a little bit sketchy getting it.
Get that one in there. Looks like it goes to Sotomera. Got the ball at the back now. Freitas, the wing, joining in. They're piling the bodies into this one. Canada holding firm as they get it going on just a little bit, and there he is. Facundo Gatas, the replacement prop.
Release! Release!
Referee telling the Canadian players to release. And Uruguay, Sears Duru better be careful there. He's got
him on the head.
Got a head wrapped up there. Knocking on the door now are these Uruguayan forwards. Going in groups of three, just trying to power over that line. We'll see if in front of their home crowd, Uruguay can put in a try here. Ciarte didn't like something that he saw, but they're able to maintain possession here. And they're just going to barrel through. I don't see this ball going wide anytime soon. Canada, great try line stance here for this Maple Leafs team. Ball is in the try zone. Referee looking for it to see what happens. Ball is not in the try zone yet. Referee has a great position looking for that. And Uruguay piles through this time. And there's that ball just in front of the line. You can see. Uruguay, did they get it over that time? Now the ball comes to the back. They think they've scored it on the other side there. The referee calls for time. He's going to talk to the assistant ref and possibly the TMO here, and we'll see what happens. I didn't see anything, Phaedra.
I saw them take it left, and the movement looked like a quick placement down, but I don't know.
This could have been a quick try. I think the video angle will show us here, and we're certainly going to get to see that.
Well, I think obviously Canada was expecting Uruguay to float, keep coming to the right. And I think that unexpected move left may have allowed them to breach the try line.
Referee Anselmi headed towards the TMO booth.
He's had his fair share of TMO examinations tonight.
Had a look there.
¿Me escuchás, Ale? Mira, mi decisión de cancha, mi on-field decision is high, a menos otherwise it's not come first.
Saying something about a knock on here. We'll see what the camera angle looks
¿Lo
like.
pudiste ver, Ale, vos o no?
And there it is. That's a
looked
try,
like a try
to
to
me.
me. Yeah, he got that. He was under control, put it down,
Oh, yeah.
and then he released it.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine.
Good look here. Hands over, ball down.
Good
yeah,
try.
That squirts out. I'd say that's a try.
Yeah. All you need is a little bit of space. The point of that ball is not that big.
Crowd seems to like it. The referee headed back out. See what the Argentine referee Federico Anselmi has to say. Uruguay lined up for the kick. They certainly think they got it. And try awarded. This could be interesting. Those Theo Souter missed kicks could be a factor as this game moves on, Pedro.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of kicks he's missed today. But that young man, number 4, deserves all the praise for that just unpredictable pick to the left and good awareness to put the ball down.
Ignacio Doty touches that one down. A newcomer to Major League Rugby is Doty, playing in New Orleans. Part of a pretty big Uruguayan contingent in that league. And that's just under the 70-minute mark. Uruguay is going to be able to pull in 2 points here. The kick is up. The kick is no good, and we are at a 4-point game here. But these last 10 minutes, this is going to be something.
It will be. With the Canada, with that improved energy level, improved play, now Uruguay back in the match, really 1 score away from taking the lead or regaining the lead.
An unconverted try wins it for them. So this is going to be a great 10 minutes here in the Americas Rugby Championship here on ESPN Plus as Hearn gets us underway. Ciarte on full strength again is Canada, so it's 15 on 14. I believe even when Uruguay scored that try, as Ciarte goes to the boot, gets it just about 40 meters out. Players colliding there as one of the reserve front rowers for Uruguay winds up with that ball in his hands. Ciarte feeds quick. They're going to look to play down that end of the field, certainly. There's a mark called for there.
Sutter
here and Hearn.
Sutter's still pleading his case. He got knocked down on that last kick, and he's still trying to draw some kind of attention from the referee. It's not going to happen.
Free kick here for Canada. I'm sure they're going to want to get the distance on this. And it does not find touch. And outside their 22, Los Teros hoist one high again. Looked like through De Leon there. Another kick for Silva. Silva steps Lloyd, steps another one. A good run of it here is Rodrigo Silva. Ciarte moves it across, a little tip pass there. Watch out, that Uruguayan player is isolated, but support comes. And Ciarte takes it on his own. He's able to get a couple of more meters after the contact there. As he pops it up to Echevarria. Kessler, inspirational at hooker. That time up to Sotomera. They're just intent to keep it tight here as Villaseca, the inside center, is getting in on those groups as Rumball pulls it away, but did not release him. And it's going to be an opportunity here for this Uruguay side. Lucas Rumball, the captain, penalized on that one.
Yeah, that was close. I mean, I thought he was in great position, but I guess he did not have that separation. The referee has the best angle in the house to make that call, and that's a costly penalty.
There's some cramping going on here. We'll take a look.
See Uruguay doing just a splendid job of driving their feet. Their support's not there, but they're doing such an outstanding job of like rolling, driving their feet, and just keeping alive. And then their support just in the nick of time is coming in, blowing over.
Yeah, they're certainly happy getting that done. And Rumball there just didn't allow him to release. So that's what's happening there as Sears Duru is out. And Noah Barker, Utah Warrior. A lot of representation in Major League Rugby out here.
Oh, yeah.
Great to see a lot of these players playing professionally in a fledgling league. As Uruguay, big opportunity here with just about 7 minutes to go in this game. If they can put this out, take the line out, and push it in, they are in the lead. Interesting moments here, Phaedra.
Well, they're not. I don't think they're going to stop until they do it because, again, their pre-game objectives were that they win every home match. And so they are at home, and they're starting to show much more life in the second half.
And nice and simple again. They go to the front.
It works.
The drive is on. They're headed towards that line. Canada being splintered off. Uruguay piling the bodies there. They have some momentum. They're headed towards that line. Let's see what happens as it gets shut down eventually. Ball on the ground. We're at another tight battle here. You can hear the Canadians calling for chop tackles. Want to take them out of the legs nice and low. Uruguay slightly driven back here. Ball available. A little pop up there. It was Gaminada, the captain, couldn't make anything happen out of that. And this time they decided to go a little wider. And headed towards the line was Segredo. What are they looking for now as the ball gets popped into Pujadas, one of the replacement players. About the same place, but a little further across the field are the Uruguay forwards. See if they can make it happen again. Referee has advantage pointed out here for Uruguay. And we are going to come back here for the penalty. We're under 5 minutes to go in an advantageous position here for this Uruguayan side. It's going to be interesting to see what the call is here.
Well, it's from the side by Canada. Uruguay just really putting the pressure on, stressing the defense, and it was great that they kept it in tight with the forwards, and then they moved it out a little bit, and that was quite effective. They made their way a little bit closer to the try line. I think they're going to have to vary it up like that in order to break through.
Thought they might go for the scrum here, but maybe. And they are. Uruguay calls for the scrum.
It saved them in the first half, and maybe they can expose this weakness of Canada again.
We will see as they are set down here. The replacement hooker Pujadas, the Champagnac club. 21-year-old, good moment for him. The referee calls time off here.
Sorry, no. 3:30 to go. 3 minutes.
Three minutes to go here. Scrum for Uruguay. Great attacking position. The game is on the line right here. Los Teros. Scrum goes down quickly.
I think both front rows have contributed to that collapse.
This side is fine. We need to sort this.
Conversations here from Uruguay.
Give me space. Give me space.
Hear that call? Gut check. Gut check. What are you? What are you here for?
Sit.
And it goes down again. And have another scrum reset here.
And Canada's number 16. He's got to get those hips down. His hips are higher than his shoulders, and so that's, to me, that's a penalty.
We're at 2 minutes to go here, but there has to be a completed scrum, no matter how long this goes on for.
Yeah. Noah Barker on the left side there.
Sit.
Scrums are together. They're up this time. Uruguay not able to get a drive on here as it splinters apart, and in comes Canada on that ball, but Uruguay looks like they're able to maintain possession. Wasn't their intended outcome. But with a minute and a half left, right on the Canadian 5-meter line is Uruguay. Again, an unconverted try wins this. All they have to do is score, and this game should be theirs as they're piling through Pujadas. The Canadians being told to release. And the captain, Gaminara, tries to take that one in. And 1 minute to go. Uruguayan forward still in control of this ball. Exciting end of the game here as Uruguay tries to power through a little closer to the ruck that time. Uruguay still in the drive. Canadian defense holding up well here so far. Uruguayan fans with their a little bit quiet here as the anticipation of what's going to happen.
Canada's coaching staff encouraging Shepherd to get involved. Hope he hears it.
We can certainly hear that. See where they go, as it is just a battle of attrition here. Hard forward work as it ball comes up to one of the replacements there. I think Echevarria.
Keep in mind, Uruguay is playing with 14 against Canada's 15.
And another possession here by Uruguay. They are just hanging on to this ball. We are over time here, so a try or a mistake is going to decide this game. And we are going to see what happens.
They really only need to hit the goalpost to score. They don't have to go low.
And they are at the line here. We're going to see what happens. Referee whistles for the try, and Uruguay, at the death, 36 minutes past full time, has scored to win this game with a kick to come against the Maple Leafs of Canada. And what a finish.
I mean, that's outstanding. You cannot ask for anything better than that. And I keep saying it. I'll say it again. 14 on 15. They were down. They really dropped in tempo early part of the second half. Canada was really coming out strong. And then Uruguay came back with this surge in the basically the fourth quarter of this game, and it's just turned it around. Remarkable finish.
That's whistle, game over. I got to go back to something you said. You said they wanted to win all their home games. That was will.
That
was pure will right there to win all their home games. Great effort by Uruguay. Great game by Canada. Back and forth all the way, and we're going to take one last little look at this here. Not sure if we're going to see who scored it. The mass of bodies was in there. But that's a team try anyhow.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, you got to give credit to every forward for that try because they all worked so hard to drive it in. Just kept those feet moving. You see that support. That second movement is what got it over the line.
Little movement there. Still can't see who scored it, but that's all right. They'll all be happy after that one. What a great finish here for this Uruguayan side. Los Teros.
I don't know, there was some contact there on the head by one of those Uruguayan players.
Little
colorful language.
Little colorful language. Sorry about that. Player a little frustrated there as you see the celebration of this Los Teros side. And we are going to be right back. 20-17, Uruguay prevails over Canada in this Americas Rugby Championship.